Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 12th of November 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments, a few of their charts, a few of the levels, of course, as always. But before we start looking at that, quickly let's have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, now then guys, also before we jump into the charts, quickly just to remind you that we're not going to have any traders espressos or traders tea times for the remaining of this week, so we will resume on Monday. So yep guys, so like I said, just to kind of let you know that there won't be any videos of traders espresso or traders tea time from tomorrow, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna resume on Monday, next Monday. So so yep guys, for now let's jump into the charts. So the first one I want to touch on is the S&P 500. Certainly, looking at this chart here, I was talking about this one last week, and we were looking at this, and this is where we're what I was talking about. Basically, I was telling you guys to keep an eye on the 2753 because a nice good break above this level could be that gateway towards higher levels. And I was talking about this potential here area for resistance, which could in a way hold down the price. And exactly, well, we had this happening here, so in a way this creates now a very important area of resistance, this 2816. This is what we're going to keep an eye on, as you can see by the arrow that I've got drawn here. So in a way, this is where we're going to wait. We're going to wait for a nice pop here above that level in order to kind of get comfortable with higher levels like the 2865 or the 2885. Now the 2865 acted as a very nice area of support here, seen on the 7th of September. Also it kind of held here the price from dropping lower, but again, like I said, this is where we're going to keep an eye on. We're going to keep an eye on these two levels, on the 2865 or on the 2885, certainly, but only if we get a nice good pop here above the 2816 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. On the downside, again, because we're still trading kind of above this key important area here of support, which now becomes a support, previously was acting as a very good area of resistance, the 2753, and it also coincides here with the 200 EMA here shown as the black line. So in a way, if we're gonna get a nice break here below this, and of course if we're gonna get a nice close on the daily chart here below this level, then yep, we could potentially see further declines here somewhere towards around the 2711 area, or even actually going here all the way towards the 2692. Of course, don't forget that in between these two levels we do have the psychological 2700 as well. So some very good potential areas to watch. Let me just quickly mark that to 2700. So but again, like I said, I'll repeat myself guys, keep your eyes on the upside here, on the 2816 zone, and on the downside keep your eyes on this little area here at around 2753, which acted as a very nice area of resistance previously, as you can see, and actually we managed to open with a gap here, but to be honest, judging from this formation, it looks like we could maybe travel back up here again, because you can see that on Friday the index was not able actually to close the whole gap here, and yeah, we just kind of stuck here in the midpoint of it. So yep, this could be in a way of a bullish sign here a little bit, but of course for the upside, like I said, in order for us to get comfortable, we'll wait for this break here above the 2816. Jumping into gold now, gold is selling off nicely here. So these are the levels that I was talking about. Let me just jump quickly into the 4-hour chart on this one. Now, okay, so basically where we're keeping an eye on here is the 1206 level, which you can see that it acted as a nice area of support here on Friday, but today we're breaking it now, and the commodity is trying to push lower. Certainly keep your eyes on the psychological 1200 level, but slightly below that we do have another good area of potential support here near the 1195 mark. Now, if looking back into history here, I mean, we know that this level here, the 1195, acted also as a very nice area of both support and resistance in the past, of course. So for now, of course, yep, keep your eyes on that one, but for us to reach that, well, to kind of assume that we could reach that level, we would need to see a nice good close here on the daily chart below the 1206, and of course we would need to see the psychological 1200 level getting wiped out, and this way we could of course then target the 1195. Now on the slightly bigger picture, if this continues to sell off further, I mean, what we're keeping an eye on here is the this key important area of support near the 1183. As you can see, in the past it acted as a very nice area of support, and also we had this little channel formation, kind of, or not channel, do apologize, the range here formation that we had we saw the commodity trading in here since around the end of August, and then it kind of broke it here nicely in the beginning of October, and now it seems like it's trying to move back inside of that little range here. So again, this 1183 acted not only as a nice area of support, but also as the lower bound of the range that we saw it trading here. So in a way, we had something like this. I mean, I do apologize for the very wide mark here, but nevertheless, we had this little range here. So it seems that the gold is trying to kind of push back inside it, and it kind of managed to do that. So let's see if it actually manages to move all the way here back down towards the lower side of this range that we were trading in the past. I mean, or to be more precise, since the end of August till the beginning of October. So yep, keep your eyes on that one. For us to, let's say, get comfortable with the upside, now looking at this 4-hour chart, certainly, let me just get rid of this area here. For us to start considering higher levels, certainly for those who are more adventurous, you could in a way start looking at the 1212 zone, but of course having a very tight stop loss. The only problem here is it's a bit too tricky because it could bounce around here around the 1212 zone. As you can see, it also acts as a very nice area of support here on the 31st of October. So in a way, this time it could play the role of resistance. So that's why we do have this potential upside scenario here from the 1220 zone, because looking at this 4-hour chart, it would also place the commodity above the 200 EMA. So this could be another confirmation of the potential move higher. So for now, like I said, be very cautious with the upside here, guys. Looking at this picture, what we're seeing right now here, especially on the 4-hour chart, it could potentially continue traveling further. So, and at the moment, keep your eyes on the psychological 1200. Jumping into DXY, now this is a good one, and quickly let me just jump into a daily chart here, and this is what's happening right now. So last week I was talking about this one, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this upside support line. So on the 7th of November, we had this nice drop here. We tested the line, the upside line, and then from which kind of it rebounded quickly back up here and closed in the positive. And since then, I was mentioning this level to watch here, the 96.30. And let me just jump into a 4-hour chart on this one, guys. So this is what happened. Basically, we had a nice pop here through this very strong pop, to be honest, through the 96.30 zone, and we started taking out these key important resistance areas. Now let me just quickly mark the last one here. So this was the last area that we took out, the last important one, I should say, the 97.20 zone, approximately there. So since then, of course, yeah, it pushed higher, and it managed to reach the 97.58 zone, from which it kind of retraced. Now it's retracing now. Certainly, let's see how it performs around this 97.20 zone again, because like I said, this was marked here by the highs of the 31st of October. And if this is going to continue to hold, well, we could see a reversal back up here and potentially moving back towards the 97.58. And above that, let me just kind of drag this chart a little bit lower. Above that, we do have the 97.90 area. Now, if going back into history here, this 97.90 acted as a very nice area of resistance here, quite an important one to watch. Oh, I do apologize. Let's slightly just lower that, the 97.90 area. Yeah, well, actually, yes, approximately there we go, guys. So maybe just slightly a few ticks below that, but nevertheless quite an important area to watch, because that was a nice good resistance seen here around the 20th of June last year. So we, in a way, we're not far from that level again. And if this continues to push higher, and like I said initially, let me just jump back in here, guys. Lost the price, lost the current price. So there we go. Got lost here on my chart. Now then, there we go, guys, back to normal. So what I'm gonna say here is that keep your eyes on this, guys. Keep your eyes on the on this level here, on the 97.90 area, because a nice good pop above the 97.58, the high where the index found it, where the index found its high, the 97.58 could be that breaking point here in order to kind of to lead towards the 97.90 level. So for now, guys, be very cautious here. Certainly from the very short-term perspective, keep your eyes on the 97.20 zone as well, because if this gets back below it and closes the day below the 97.20, we could maybe see a bit of a correction here back to the downside, where we will aim for these previous resistance levels, which now are going to act as nice areas of support. So keep your eyes on that one. Keep your eyes on these levels. So yep, let's see how it plays out today. Jumping into a few pairs, EURGBP. Now looking at this one, it looked like it had a fantastic day here. Well, of course, it's the good start of the day, let's put it that way. But now we can see that it reversed sharply, and now it's pushing back down. So basically, we had this nice pop here through the short-term, in a way, tentative downside resistance line. Had a nice pop here through that one, pushed higher, found resistance near the let me just quickly mark that, near the 0.8775 mark, and from which kind of it pushed back down here. So what we're going to keep an eye on here is still, we're going to keep an eye on this short-term tentative downside resistance line. In a way, if this goes down here and tests that line from above, and if it's going to struggle to overcome it, then we could maybe potentially see the bulls jumping back into this one, and if we will see the bulls kind of driving back the pair back above the 0.8720, this could be a good sign that actually the bulls are not willing to give up here, and could potentially push this pair back up here, maybe even going all the way here towards the 200 EMA, who knows. But of course, for us to see these higher levels, we would need to see a nice good break above the 0.8775, which was marked here by today's highs. So keep your eyes on down, keep your eyes on this scenario. If suddenly this drops lower and it drops below this tentative downside resistance line, then, well, it could open the path towards further levels, and especially if we're going to wipe out these lows that we saw last week near the 0.8690. So keep your eyes on that one. Looking at one more pair quickly, USDCHF. So this one, it continues to struggle to actually, well, closed. Looking at this 4-hour chart here, it managed to break once, then managed to break another time, and still kind of it's struggling to overcome, like with confidence here at this level, around the 1.0095. Certainly also, of course, another psychological level that we've got here slightly above that is the 1.01. So a nice good pop above these two could potentially open the path towards higher levels, but for now it seems that it's kind of struggling with that. But of course, like I said, the day is not finished yet. Let's see how this performs. If suddenly this decides to move back down here, keep your eyes on this little area here at around 1.007, marked here by the high of the 5th of November. But for those who are more on the cautious side, you would in a way wait for a nice good drop here below the 1.0045 area, and only then we'll probably consider these lower levels here, like the 1.001, or even going back down here lower. So but for now, let's see how this performs. How it performs, of course, near the 1.00995 and the psychological 1.01 level. NZDJPY, looking at this one, looking at the 4-hour chart, still kind of in a way looks positive, even though we're having this nice decline here. But to be honest, it could be classed just as a nice correction here, and we're still above this short-term upside support line that's running here from the 26th of October. So in a way, this could, even if this would drop here lower again, if this pair would drop here back down, and as long as it remains above this upside support line, we'll stay bullish on this one. And especially if we're going to see a nice good break here above the 77.27 area, which was marked here by the resistance last week, which basically was the high of last week, and a nice good pop above this 77.27 could open the path towards higher levels. But for now, keep your eyes on this. Be very cautious here. Certainly, like I said, we do still remain somewhat bullish on this one because we're still above this short-term upside support line. If suddenly this drops lower and breaks the 96.30 zone, this could potentially open the path towards lower levels, and like I said, this is where we're going to probably consider levels like the 75.50, which also acted as a very nice area, could act as actually as a very nice area of support, as it in the past it acted as a very nice area of resistance, especially here seeing in the September time. So okay guys, I hope you found it useful, and once again, just remind you, there won't be any Traders Espresso or Traders tea times for the remaining of this week. So we'll resume on next Monday. So yep, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you have a fantastic week. So, but thank you very much for watching and listening, and bye for now.